Good evening, bonsoir. Welcome to the special public meeting on November 22nd. Madame Saint-Laurent, est-ce que nous avons des conflits d'intérêts?
Aucun? None.
Okay. So we'll move on to bylaws. 2.1, hearing of the objections of DBRC 2022 budget. Madame Saint-Laurent, est-ce qu'on a des objections?
Notices have been published in the local newspapers as per 4.2 of the Business Improvement Area Act. No written objections were received regarding the proposed DBRC 2022 budget. Les avis ont été publiés dans les journaux locaux comme requis au point 4.2 de la loi sur les zones d'amélioration des affaires. Aucune objection écrite n'a été reçue concernant le budget 2022 proposé de la CRCB.
Parfait. 2.2, proposed bylaw 2021-12 entitled the bylaw to approve the 2022 budget of the DBRC and to establish a special business improvement area levy in the city of Bathurst. So the first reading of the bylaw 2021-12 in its entirety, Councillor Leblanc.
Merci, Madame la mairesse. Je propose que l'arrêté 2021-12 intitulé un arrêté pour approuver le budget 2022 de la CRCB et pour établir un prélèvement spécial pour la zone d'amélioration des affaires de la ville de Bathurst soit passé en première lecture. Arrêté numéro 2021-12. Un arrêté pour approuver le budget 2022 de la Corporation de revitalisation du centre-ville de Bathurst et pour établir un prélèvement spécial pour la zone d'amélioration des affaires de la ville de Bathurst. Par les présentes, le Conseil de ville de Bathurst indique ce qui suit. Attendu que, en vertu de la loi sur les zones d'amélioration des affaires, une municipalité peut, en adoptant un arrêté municipal à cet effet, imposer un prélèvement spécial pour la zone d'amélioration des affaires sur les commerces situés à l'intérieur de la zone désignée zone d'amélioration des affaires. Attendu que le prélèvement spécial pour la zone d'amélioration des affaires sera adopté conformément au paragraphe 5.01 3F de la loi sur l'impôt foncier et attendu que le Conseil de ville de Bathurst juge qu'il est dans l'intérêt public d'imposer un tel prélèvement spécial pour l'amélioration des affaires sur les biens non résidentes et, par les présentes, le Conseil de ville de Bathurst indique ce qui suit. 1. Par les présentes, un prélèvement spécial pour la zone d'amélioration des affaires au montant de 2 $ pour chaque 1 000 $ de la valeur fixée pour les années commençant le 1er janvier 2022 et terminant le 31 décembre 2022, sera imposé sur tous les biens non résidents à l'intérieur de la zone identifiée dans l'arrêté municipal numéro 2004-14, lequel est un arrêté pour désigner et établir une zone d'amélioration des affaires à l'intérieur des limites de la ville de Bathurst. 2. Les montants reçus de ce prélèvement spécial, au total de 86 707 $ seront remis à la Corporation de revitalisation du centre-ville de Bathurst pour utilisation conformément aux dispositions du budget 86 707 $ remis par la Corporation de revitalisation du centre-ville de Bathurst et à la ville de Bathurst le 7 octobre 2021. Édicté le... En foi de quoi la ville de Bathurst a posé son sceau municipal sur la présente arrêté.
Merci. Est-ce que je peux avoir quelqu'un pour appuyer? Député Mahon does. Tout ça en faveur signifie en disant oui. Oui. Contre. Motion adoptée. Second reading of bylaw 21-12. Councillor Knowles.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I move that bylaw 2021-12 entitled a bylaw to approve the 2022 budget of the DBRC and to establish a special business improvement area levy in the city of Bathurst be read for the second time by title.
Perfect. May I have a seconder? Councillor Anderson. All those in signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Proposed bylaw 2004-01K entitled the bylaw to amend bylaw 2004-1 respecting water and sewer services and charges in the city of Bathurst. We have a question. Councillor Burnett.
Thanks, Madam Mayor. On the DBRC budget, I don't know if there's anybody here to represent them this evening, but I had a few questions on it. We lost our manager over the year. He's moved on, and he was a great manager for that and other parts of downtown. So where are we with finding a manager for the downtown, which is also at one time the waterfront as well, the village? Will that continue, or I don't know what the setup is. If there's nobody here, I'll just put those questions to you, and you can get them for me later. The answer.
Exactly. I could tell you that they are going to hire somebody for the downtown Bathurst revitalization, but the waterfront's completely different. It's not managed by DBRC. It's managed by the city. So those were two different positions that Chris had within the city. Yes, I could follow up with you, or you can send an email, but I'll explain it to you to who to contact, the president.
And the park downtown on the corner King and Main, is that finished? Is that completed?
It is completed with winter months coming in, but we're still missing the piece. I think it's on back order for the, what is it called? The granite. That piece broke when it was put together, but the park itself is pretty much done, yeah. So by next summer, we'll be able to flower that up.
And where is the DBRC office now, the headquarters?
Their office is still with the CBDC. Their office is in there and with the back where the Chamber of Commerce is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's still there. Yeah.
It's still there. It
Well, they
hasn't
moved there
changed.
not too long
It's just
ago,
the
huh?
office is
Yeah.
empty.
The office is empty. Okay. Thank you very much for that, Madam Mayor.
You're welcome. All right. Okay. Councillor Anderson.
Thank you, Your Worship. I move that bylaw 2004-01K entitled a bylaw to amend bylaw 2004-01 respecting water and sewer services and charges in the city of Bathurst be read for the first time in its entirety. A bylaw to amend bylaw 2004-01 respecting water and sewer services and charges in the city of Bathurst, that the council of the City of Bathurst, duly assembled and under authority vested in it by the Local Governance Act, enacts the following. Bylaw number 2004-01, Schedule A is hereby amended as follows. 1. Schedule A as follows. Effective January 1, 2022, sewage charges in the City of Bathurst shall be billed to 2. Schedule of sanitary sewage charges. These shall be a user charge for all Class A users and Class B users for buildings that have sewer connections to city-owned sanitary sewers at the rate of 89% of either the combined water consumption and demand charges or minimum charge as per Schedule A in respect to each building fronting on a street where water has been installed, whether the owner connects to the city water system or not. 2. In the case of a Class A or Class B user, the owner of the building that has no water service available, but the sewer is available, shall pay the city quarterly sanitary sewage charges in accordance with the following. A. $152.45 if the owner connects to the city sewer system. B. $90.86 if the owner does not connect to the city sewage system. 3. Service charge. When an owner requires a service charge call relating to a sewer line, a service charge of $74.52 will be applied. This charge will not apply where the repair is the responsibility of the City of Bathurst. Enacted on in witness whereof the City of Bathurst affix its corporate seal to this bylaw.
Thank you. May I have a seconder? Councillor Knowles. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. We will go to the second reading of the bylaw 2004-01K. Councillor Burnett.
Thanks, Madam Mayor. I would so move that bylaw 2004-01K entitled a bylaw to amend bylaw 2004-01 respecting water and sewer services and charges in the city of Bathurst be read for the second time by title.
Perfect. May I have a seconder? Councillor Willett. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. 2.4, hearing of objections or support proposed municipal plan amendment for 2144 Valley-Lude Drive. Madame Saint-Laurent, est-ce qu'on a des objections?
Notices have been published as per the Community Planning Act. No written objections were received for the proposed amendments to the municipal plan. Les avis ont été publiés comme requis par la loi sur l'urbanisme. Aucune objection n'a été reçue concernant les modifications prévues au plan municipal.
Parfait, merci. We will move over to Finance, Municipal Capital Boring Board. Councillor Legacy.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I move that the City of Bathurst hereby submit to the Municipal Capital Borrowing Board an application for authorization to borrow in an amount not to exceed $1,500,000 for the purpose of a new booster station at the St. Anne site, at a rate of interest to be determined by the New Brunswick Municipal Finance Corporation at the time of issue of debentures and not exceeding the Chartered Bank's prime lending rate of an interim bank loan for a period not exceeding 10 years by way of a loan, issue of debentures or to guarantee repayment of a loan, issue of debentures or certificate of indebtedness made for a capital expense as set forth in subsection 1 of section 4 of the Municipal Capital Borrowing Act, as authorized by vote of council of said municipality under date of November 22nd, 2021. Application for authorization. The municipality of the City of Bathurst submits to the Municipal Capital Borrowing Board an application for authorization to borrow money or to guarantee the repayment of money borrowed or to enter into a lease purchase or purchase agreement in an amount not to exceed $1.5 million for the following. Purpose, Water and Sewer Capital Fund, Water, a new booster station on St. Anne site, Environmental Health Services for an amount of $405,000 for a 10-year term. New booster station at St. Anne site, in turn, Environmental Health Services, $1.095 million for a 3-year term. This application is made pursuant to section 1.1 or subsection 4.1 or section 1.1 and subsection 4.1 of the Municipal Capital Borrowing Act and a resolution of the Council of the City of Bathurst on November 22nd, 2021.
Thank you. May I have a seconder? Deputy Mayor Hondas. Does council have any questions prior to go to the voting? Councillor LeBlanc.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. So my question, this new booster station for the St. Anne site might be more directed to Mr. Pettigrew, but if my understanding is correct here, we're looking at something that's going to resolve most of the water issues we've been having in this city. Is that correct?
I'll give you the mic, Mr. Pettigrew. All right.
Thank you, Worship. In 2017, there was some projects started where we installed pressure-reducing valves in Valley Lords, St. Camille, and Sunset. And you're right, this would be the last part of it, which would allow us to control the pressure in West Bathurst. Currently now, you have to increase in town to increase the pressure in West. This would allow better control, maintain higher pressures and less fluctuations, which would allow for less pressure drops and discoloration. So definitely a key component to this, and something that was in our plans, but there's a funding opportunity that we could look at. So we want to fast track and be ready for approval on the funding if it's approved.
Thank you.
Answer your question. Perfect. Councillor Burnett.
Thanks, Madam Mayor. So our system is very old, and you've been keeping up by doing some preventive maintenance and preventive repairs and replacements. So what's it look like for the future? We got a lot more coming online that we have to get replaced, or are we doing okay and keeping up?
Mr. Abernathy's not here, but I'll answer the best of my ability as my previous role as a city engineer. Definitely we have an infrastructure where we have a lot of pipelines and a lot of items in the ground and pipes in the ground. We continuously have to do maintenance on it. I think council in the past has invested a whole bunch of money and great gas tax money in addressing issues with infrastructure. There's continued to be maintenance. We're starting unidirectional flushing and a unidirectional flushing program in our water system next year as well. That will help this, but this is a system. For those that are not aware, we have an open system, which means to increase the pressure in West Bathurst, we have to increase it at the plant, which allows it to increase all the way to maintain the pressure in west. This system would allow us to have less fluctuations in our system and better control an automatic system. This is also an automated system where the controls will control the pumps and make sure that the pressures are standardized across the city.
Is there anybody, like in my home, I have a pressure reducing valve, and some people have no pressure across the city, but is there anybody that should be forewarned that they might have to go the way I did with a pressure reducing valve in their system when this is put in?
Well, actually, what'll happen when this is put in, we will allow us to better control the pressure in town, so we don't have to increase it in the downtown area.
Yeah.
So actually, there will eventually, once it's online, there will be no need to increase the pressure downtown. So there will be not necessarily a need for increased pressure or pressure reducing valves in residences. So the goal is to maintain it the same. Currently now, with it open, we currently have to increase it downtown to increase it in west. So once that station is installed, this last piece of the puzzle, we can control it in west and reduce the pressure in downtown.
Great, because mine is adjustable, so I imagine everybody in our street is. Concerning financing, how's our debt rate doing for the financing of these projects?
I'll pass it over to Madame Gauvin, but I think we're doing pretty good. We're doing really well.
Oh, okay.
The general fund, we're doing well. The utility is a little bit, is getting high there, just for the simple fact that those equipments are so large. We have the capacity to go to 50% of our budget with the utility.
50?
Yes.
Okay.
We're not there yet. We're trying to work on the debt profile for the utility, but we can't work on the debt profile for the utility until we finish paying old year deficits. For this project, the opportunity that arises, and the reason why we didn't put it in last week's budget, is because we thought that it would start in 2023, but the opportunity that we have is from the 1.5 million, there will be $1,095,000 that would be financed. So those opportunities don't come very often, and our money that we would have to put would be 405,000 of that. So we have a chance to have funding for something that will reduce a lot of problems within the city, and will probably reduce the crews that have to go fix all of those problems. So instead of putting the money on fixing it after the fact, this will actually prevent it. So it kind of balances each other out. But you're right, the utility debt rate is not as good as the general fund, but that's because we have to pay for old deficits. Once that's done, then we can work at the debt profile for this one.
Like I said, age is there, and there's a lot of work to be done, so thank you for that update. Thanks, Madam Mayor.
You're welcome. So all those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed? Motion carried. So we are going to go to the draft resolution. So proposed resolution of council concerning the publication of notice under section 111 of the Community Planning Act, application 2144 Valley Lud Drive. Councillor Willett.
Thank you, Your Worship. I move that whereas the City of Bathurst has received a request from Résidence Habitat Soleil Residence Incorporated to amend bylaw number 206-01 entitled the City of Bathurst Municipal Plan Bylaw and bylaw 2008-01 entitled the Zoning Bylaw for the property located at 2144 Valley Lode Drive, having PDI number 2091139, and whereas the property is classified as institutional in the municipal plan and in the zoning bylaw, and whereas the applicant is to modify the designation from institutional to integrated development in the municipal plan and in zoning bylaw. And whereas the request is to change the land use designation for the property to allow for institutional uses, residential medium density, residential high density use, cultural and tourism use, community gardens, and installation of a solar panel farm and wind turbines. Now therefore be it resolved that bylaw amending the municipal plan and zoning bylaw be written in this regard, And number 2, public notices be published and prescribed by Section 111 of the Community Planning Act. And 3, objections to the proposed changes be submitted to the city clerk's office no later than 1 p.m. Thursday, December 16th, 2021. Objections received will be considered by City Council at 6:30 p.m. on Monday, December 20th, 2021, in the council chambers at 150 St. George Street in Bathurst.
Perfect. May I have someone to, Councillor Legacy? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Adjournment, Deputy Mayor Hondas.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I move that the special public meeting be adjourned at 6:50 p.m.
Perfect. May I have a seconder? Councillor Legacy. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Opposed? No. Aye. We're good. All right. Meeting adjourned. There was no opposed, so we're good to go. All right. Thank you, everybody, for being here.